guys, it's SimLicy here, so welcome to another speed build, and today I am building another vacation house, but this time I thought I would go ahead and build one in Granite Falls, which I thought would just be a lot of fun to do since I haven't built here in a while, and lately I've been building in the new vacation world of Salvadorado. I thought I would just go back and visit our old vacation world and mix it up a little bit and see what I could come up with. So that's what I did, and I am so happy with the way this build turned out. I think it is such a pretty build, and yeah, I am just in love with it. I love the colors and the landscaping, and I think it's really nice. So hopefully you guys will like it too. But yeah, I kind of just realized that I haven't built that many luxurious cabins here. Like every time I go to build in Granite Falls, I tend to go for this more rustic, rundown, kind of damp cabin look, which sounds a bit silly, but I always imagine that they have kind of a leaky roof and your Sims are almost roughing it here when they come on vacation. So I think it's a fun idea to imagine your Sims just, you know, hiking and fishing and staying in like a more damp cabin, and they drink hot chocolate and kind of cozy up by the fire, and it's a bit colder here. I mean, I think maybe I just need like an alpine world that is actually cold. Maybe I just need something like that. I'm not really sure, but so I did try to do something a little bit different and make something that was a little bit more spacious, a little bit more, I wouldn't say, I was going to say modern, but I don't think modern's the right word, because I don't think it's necessarily a modern cabin, but it looks like it's been like redone or refinished. Like it looks like it's been upgraded, like maybe repainted or had new windows or something like that. So it looks like it's, yeah, a little bit newer. I'm not really sure, but yeah, I think it turned out really pretty. I absolutely love the colors. Like I wasn't really too sure about this like orange timber wall wood wallpaper. I thought that maybe it was a little bit too orange, and I thought about changing it a few times, but I'm really happy that I didn't, because when the sun hits it, especially in the late afternoon in the front of the building, it is so pretty. Like I absolutely adore it. And of course I use these flowers again because I am literally obsessed. I love them so much. It's so funny because like I said in my last build, I didn't even think I liked them. I thought I would never use them. I was like, maybe I can use them in a little bit more of like I thought they'd be better in like fairy tale looking builds, because I thought they were a bit silly looking and not so realistic, and I completely changed my mind. I love them. They are so pretty, and I want to use them on every single build when I open my game. So hopefully you guys won't get too sick of them. I'll try not to overuse them, but I need to use them in the other colors, because so far I've only used the red swatch, but I just felt like with these last two builds, those colors just worked a little bit better. So I don't know, but this, I did struggle a little bit with the doors. I wasn't really sure if I wanted to go for brown doors or white doors. I ended up going with all white in the end. That way they match all the windows, and I think it looks really nice and adds a bit of contrast to all of the wood textures. So I really like that, and I think all of the windows actually are from Cats and Dogs. So if you don't have Cats and Dogs, you might want to, I don't know, think about it if you download it, if you'd want to replace all these windows or not. But I did try to make sure that I mostly used, at least for the landscaping and the exterior, not too many different packs. So mostly it's base game and outdoor retreat, except for all of these windows. They are from Cats and Dogs. But all of the landscaping, except for a couple of the trees, come from Jungle Adventure. And of course the plants on the house are from Jungle Adventure. But and then for the interior, I did use a lot of Parenthood. So I think if you have all those packs, it shouldn't be that big of a deal, because I did notice when I uploaded it to the gallery that there were a lot of packs used, but I think most of them are just like minor items that are, you know, just one painting or one clutter item. So I think if you have Outdoor Retreat, of course, that's what we're building, and then Jungle Adventure, Parenthood, and Cats and Dogs, I think you should be fine. There might be a few things missing if you don't have other packs, but I don't think it should be like a big deal to replace those items. I think it would just be just a few items. But anyways, right here in the back, I thought that it was it looked a little bit odd and needed a little bit of extra detail. So I was going to add that awning from Jungle Adventure, but I decided to build my own in the end, which I think turns out really nice and just adds a bit of detail and I guess a bit of structure to the back. So I think it looks really nice. And oh, and something I forgot to mention is I did build a pond in the back, which I imagined to be like kind of a natural pond or a lake, because I wanted somewhere for your Sims to go swimming in, but I didn't imagine there would be a swimming pool here, so I wanted it to look a bit more natural, and I think it turned out so pretty. I did cut out some of the landscaping when I do it though, because it was quite repetitive, and I thought you guys would get a little bit bored to seeing me repeatedly place the same bush and rocks and ferns and, you know, all the same plants over and over. So I did cut some of that out, but other than that, I didn't really cut anything out of this build. I left in a lot of the footage, which is great because I left in the entire floor plan. I think at least most of it, because normally that's like my first thing to go, but this time I decided to cut out just some landscaping and left all of the floor planning in, because yeah, it didn't take me that long to build. It actually took me like less than 3 hours to build this entire build, which is really unheard of for me for most builds. Like, I easily can build 5-6+ hours on almost every build that I do, unless it's just a room or an apartment. But yeah, I can take the longest time on builds, so I was really surprised actually that this came together so quickly. But I think that's because I didn't really add a lot of clutter. I was really going for a very vacation home look. So even though my dream vacation house had quite a bit of clutter, this one I didn't really add much clutter, because I think my dream vacation house would have a lot of clutter. That way it would just have everything that I need, and I wouldn't have to leave the vacation home to go get anything or take anything extra with me. But this one I imagined was just still kind of set up for anybody to come and stay. So there's a few clutter items, but not really very much. But now I am making the pond, and I start off with the landscaping, and as you can see, pretty much all of them are outdoor retreat. I think the ferns and the flowers, I was pretty much just trying to copy everything that I saw in the distance. So yeah, I try to make it blend in with the landscaping as much as possible, which I think it turns out really pretty. And yeah, hopefully you guys like it. Hopefully it looks kind of natural. I also added a diving board, so that's kind of cool, so your Sims can jump in here, do a backflip or a swan dive, which I love that item. I wish we got more diving boards, because those ones are quite bulky and they only came with one pack, so it would be nice to see them come in different packs in case, because they only came with get together, so it'd be nice if they added a bit more variety. That way if you didn't want get together, you could still have diving boards. I would like to see a more modern one, or like, you know, like those regular diving boards, just like a plank over the water. I think that would be pretty cool to see. So who knows, maybe that'll happen in the future. But speaking of new content, earlier today the new stuff pack came out and I did get it, so I built a room, which is super cute. I mean, I wasn't really that excited about the pack, and I'm still not that excited, and I know there's been so much controversy surrounding the pack, so I'll talk about that a little bit more in the room build. But I think the room turned out really cute. The items are really cute. It just seems, I don't know, not that exciting of a pack. But I did do a room, so if there's anything else you guys would like to see from it, let me know. But I don't think I could probably really do an entire build dedicated to it, but I really do like to build family homes, so I am pretty excited to have more kid items in the game. Definitely like that. But now we're on into the front landscaping, and I really wanted to use this tree. I'm gonna have to use it in a different build, but I never use it. But it's a really cool tree. It's such a like crooked and really interesting. But yeah, I don't know. I'm pretty much just using all of the same plants as I did in the back and just moving it to the front of the building. Just trying to make it look a little bit organic. And I get a lot of questions about my landscaping, and honestly, all I try to do is make things look a little bit messy, and which sounds a bit silly and probably doesn't sound like the right advice, but I try to make it look a little bit messy because I feel like it makes it look a little bit more organic. And I always place dirt underneath all of my plants, because not only would there probably be dirt from all of the roots and, you know, plants growing up out of the ground, but it just adds a bit of shadow, which I think helps a lot with the way it looks, because if there's no shadow under it, then it looks less realistic. So I don't know, I just like that a lot. And something I've been getting a lot of questions about lately is if I use any building mods, which I find a bit interesting because I don't really know about that many building mods. I got a question about a floor plan building mod, and if that exists, let me know because floor plans are hard. But no, I do not. I don't use any building mods, and I don't use any build custom content. And every once in a while I'll do a build with CC, but I will definitely make that very clear. I've only actually done, I was gonna say one, but I've done a couple if you count the snow mod, but that just kind of replaces in-game objects, and it's like a retexturing mod because it just makes it appear as if there's snow on the ground and there's snow on the plants, or frost, or whatever you want to call it. But I have done a custom content build, and that's with the Plum Bob Tea Society when they did their rustic garden, I believe is what it was called, and that was so much fun to build with. And they came out with the rustic wedding stuff too as well. I'm not sure if I got the names of those packs correct, but they do such a great job. It's like a whole collaboration of a bunch of CC creators, and they all get together and create like a whole stuff pack. They're amazing. If you guys are interested in build custom content, they're so pretty. They do a great job, and it fits into the game so nicely. Like, it doesn't even look like it doesn't belong. It really looks great. But yeah, they did come up with a new one recently, and I saw some people a couple people did some builds with it, and saw a couple of reviews and stuff like that. But yeah, I definitely want to do a build myself and do like a rustic wedding. And I'm not really sure which route to go, if I should go the barn route or the more like forest route. I'm not really sure. So if you guys have any suggestions, let me know, because I definitely want to build something with that. But now we are on into the interior, as you can see, and I start off with the kitchen area, and I think it is such a cute kitchen. I love how it has this large island and it overlooks the dining area, and it just seems super cozy. And well, actually I make the island a little bit smaller because it's not really a large island, but all of the, I guess, the cabinets and the stove and the refrigerator all from Parenthood. So if you don't have Parenthood, pretty much, yeah, you're gonna have to replace all of the wallpaper and the cabinets. I mean, does it replace it for you? I've never actually downloaded something from the gallery and not had the pack. Maybe I should do that as an experiment sometime, like wait to buy a pack and then download something from the gallery with it and see how it replaces the items, because I'm quite curious how that works. But yeah, I don't know. When I realized how many different packs were used in this build, I was like, maybe I should probably be a little bit more conscious, because I imagine that's quite frustrating when you go to download something, but I don't know. Maybe it's not that big of a deal. But anyways, so I do add a few pieces of clutter here in the kitchen. I do add like some fruit. I think some fruit and like a jar of food, because I do imagine since there's a whole kitchen here, you'd probably bring a little food along with you. That way, you know, it was easier to make meals and stuff like that. But I do really like this kitchen a lot, and I do end up closing off the area behind the dining table. I move it over closer to the kitchen area and then make a hallway just to kind of separate the spaces a little bit, because I felt like it was a bit too, not necessarily too open, but just too awkward of a shape to where it didn't really feel realistic or that it made any sense or not. So yeah, really happy with the way it turned out, and I loved using that rug underneath the dining table from, oh man, from the Laundry Day. Why did that take me so long to come up with? I have no idea. But yeah, I did use a few items from Laundry Day, but not too many, just a few little accents here and there, because I love that pack so much. It's definitely the best stuff pack in my opinion. I love all of the items. So pretty. Love it a lot. But yeah, I kind of just throw a few decorations. Oh, and a radio in the kitchen, because I thought that'd be pretty nice for the Sims to be able to listen to music while they have dinner together or while they're cooking. I thought that was kind of fun. I should have probably added another radio somewhere else. I don't know. I tend to forget radios. I don't know why, but it's not my, like, I don't remember them that well. Radios and clocks, I tend to forget them quite a bit. But yeah, I put this little like pantry shelf here in the hallway and a few clutter items on top of it, and the little basket clutter item I used a couple times in this build just because it's such a cute item. I adore it a lot. And this entryway is quite large. It's probably one of the largest like foyer, how do you say that word? I'm not really sure, but it's one of the largest entryways that I've probably made in a long time. But I think it looks really pretty and it looks quite grand. I think that'd be so nice to show up at a cabin, and it just has this large entryway with a nice little seating area, especially since this particular lot that I built it on, I can't see the name of it right now. Actually, no, it's Lakeside Retreat. I don't even think I changed the name of it when I uploaded it to the gallery. I was like, oh, Lakeside Retreat that's a good name for this build. Yeah, the sun shines so brightly. I think around 4 or 5. I had my sim self here play testing out this house to make sure everything that worked properly. And about 4 o'clock in the sim day, the sun just like shines so brightly on the front of this building, and it's such a pretty lot to be on at that time of day. So I imagined your sim could sit here and look out the window and enjoy the sunset. It's so pretty. But oh, and I also put a dining table out in the front as well, so they could sit out there if they prefer it. But anyways, I tried to do an interesting thing right here with the shoes. I think if I would have made it that little clothes rack, or it's a clothes rack, right? I'm not really sure. If I would have made it white, then the metal brackets that hold the shoes together, or the shoe rack, my gosh, the shoe rack has these metal brackets, so I felt like they stood out too much. So I think if the shelf would have been white, it wouldn't have stood out so much, but I didn't want to change the color, so I'm gonna have to revisit that idea in another build. But now we are on into one of the bathrooms. This is the only bathroom downstairs, so it has a shower and a tub, and the bathroom upstairs is pretty much the same. I did end up copying over a lot of items. I did leave it all in though, because I figured, why not show you guys exactly what I did. I mean, I don't really like to cut out rooms, so those are definitely not my first things to go. So even though they're pretty much the same, I left them both in. I do like the upstairs one better because it has a little bit more detail and it's a little bit bigger. It's a pretty cool bathroom. But this is going to be the living area, and at first I was going to use these couches, and I'm so happy I didn't, because I think the ones that I end up going with in the end look a lot better, and yeah, they look a lot more cabiny, because these ones have like those blankets overneath the little love seats, and I love that detail. It's so cute. And I used these tables that came with the outdoor retreat. I can't think of the name of anything. Oh my god, I keep like I can't think of the words. But yeah, I thought those looked really nicely in here, and I tried to use those curtains from oh my goodness, from Cats and Dogs. I've tried to use those on short wall heights so many times, but I ended up going with these vintage glamour curtains. I mean, you could of course use any regular curtain, but those ones just look so nice and drapey. And I put a lot of bookcases in here too, just to take up the wall space, which is probably a bit unrealistic for a vacation home, but I mean, who's going to leave that many books somewhere? But it looks nice. And then I make like a little game room area, so if you need another bedroom, you could probably turn this into one if you needed one, but I thought it'd be kind of cool to have a little hangout area, and I kind of wish I would have added another radio in here. It's definitely one of the spots that I was thinking about after I built it, that I should have added one, because it'd probably be nice to listen to music and play some darts and sit in here and just kind of hang out. And yeah, it's a nice little lounge area. I think it's a pretty cool little spot. I also used a lot of those pictures from the fitness stuff pack, because those fitness stuff pack frames, like inside of them, have a lot of pictures of Granite Falls, or at least what look like it should be Granite Falls, or like hiking worlds. They got like a topographic map on one of them, and yeah, I thought that was pretty cool. So I hung up those pictures like pretty much all over this cabin. I thought that was a pretty cool idea, and I really wasn't sure what to add in this hallway. I think I just put in this shelf, and I don't even think I put anything on it. I was like, I don't know what to do in this hallway. I was kind of stumped. I think just put the plant there, and then I think I hang up a picture over here on the other wall and call it good. I mean, it's just a hallway, and sometimes it's kind of hard to come up with ideas of what to put inside hallways. And yeah, but there's quite a few activities, because if you did catch it, I put the Don't Wake the Llama in the living room, which I thought would be really nice for your Sims to be able to play different games, because I mean, there's not too much that they can do out in the world. They can go fishing and collecting and hiking, but I don't know, I imagine that you'd want a lot of activities at the cabin as well. So that's what I was going for. And then I think I start off with the bathroom for the upstairs interior after I am doing whatever. Oh yeah, I kind of adjusted this little what would you call this, open landing area. I made it a little bit bigger, so I did have to adjust the exterior a little bit to make it all work, but I love that open to the downstairs area. I don't get to add that too often in builds, because sometimes it just really doesn't work with the roofing or the floor plan, but really happy to be able to add it in this build. But now we are doing this bathroom. So this bathroom's a little bit more decorated. It has some like, I don't know, towels and shampoo clutter, just a little bit more clutter than the downstairs bathroom, because I imagine this one gets used a little bit more, but I just copied over a lot of the items. And something that I really like about this bathroom though is I use this log bench underneath the window, which I thought looked so cool, and it looks so just woodsy, and I don't know, I really like that a lot. I thought it was pretty neat, and decided to remove that chair and add, what do I add? A plant, probably. It's always my go-to when I'm not really sure what to put in an area, and I'm like, this corner's bare, put a plant. It's always a good solution. But this is the kids' room, so there's 2 beds in here, which I thought would be pretty good. That way if you have 2 kids, or 2 teens, or a teen and a kid, then they'd have plenty of space. Of course, if you have a toddler, then you can go ahead and put a toddler bed in here, or if you just have more Sims, you could probably add a tent outside as well. But so I loved adding this frog on the ground. If you guys didn't see it, I did a room build a while back where it was like a twin toddler's bedroom, and I put the frog on the ground like that because it was like a woodland or outdoorsy themed kids bedroom. I think it's kind of what I was going for. And yeah, I got that idea from that build that I did, which was pretty cool because I don't do room builds that often, so I was pretty happy that I did it because it gave me an idea for an actual build that I will, use the rooms, because I don't really think people use room builds that much. I mean, they're fun to do and they're fun to watch because you get ideas, and yeah, that's why I want to start doing them more often. But yeah, happy that I did that one because I don't think I would have thought to layer that frog rug with regular rugs before, because I don't think before that I ever really used that rug that much. And now I'm like, I want to use all the cool little like animal rugs and the different little, there's like some flower ones, and kind of layer them with regular rugs to make the kids' rooms a little bit more fun. I don't know, I thought that was a cool idea. Maybe it's not that interesting, but I thought it was fun. But I do decorate this little patio area with a little seat. I think I put a little fire pit coffee table out here as well. So a nice relaxing area. If you have spa day, you could probably add the massage tables if you wanted it to be extra luxurious, or a hot tub would be really nice out here as well, or I don't know, whatever you want really. If you have a Sim that likes to exercise on vacation, you could put some exercise equipment out here. Yeah, really anything you could think of actually. And then this is going to be the parents' bedroom, or the master bedroom of the resort. What am I saying? I am losing it. Absolutely losing it. But the master bedroom of the cabin. And I was going to add a fireplace in here, but it was a little bit too bulky, so I removed it in the end and then moved the bed over to the other side because it just the way I was starting to decorate it just felt a bit cramped, and this way feels a little bit more open, but I don't know, I'm still not completely satisfied with this room. It's definitely not my, I don't hate it, but it's not my like favorite room of the house, but I think it looks nice in the end, and I do like the furniture, and yeah, I don't know, it's okay. And I do love that basket clutter. I love that basket clutter so much. It's so super cute, and I end up adding the shelving from Laundry Day that has like the storage baskets and stuff in it. I add it here in just a second, and I think that looks really cool, and love that orange chair that came with the Jungle Adventure pack that has the blue pillow on it. Super cute, and I used it all over this build. I think I'll be using that chair a lot. I think it's going to go with a lot of builds. I mean, well, I was going to say that it's not super modern, but actually the more white tones and the more like lighter wood textures, I think could probably actually be used in a lot of modern builds. So yeah, I think it's pretty versatile actually. But there's that shelving that I was talking about from Laundry Day. I just add a bit of clutter in there, and yeah, then that's about it for this room. I think I add a mirror and another plant probably. Oh no, I add that shelving again. Yeah, that's pretty cool. And then of course a horseshoe pit outside because, well, it's outdoor retreat. Why not have a horseshoe pit? And then I think I do a little barbecue out here, and I was going to add a dining table back here, but I just couldn't get it to work. I didn't really like anywhere I was putting it, and maybe if I would have put it in the grass somewhere, it would have been fine, but I decided not to in the end. But I do put a dining area outside in the front of the building, so there was a place to eat outside. And then I do switch up this back deck slightly because I wanted to have a seating area, and it felt like it would be a little bit weird to have the seating area right in front of the stairs. So I do move the stairs in the back, and then I add a little wicker seating area, which I think looks super cute. And I really like this dining area. I think it looks really nice, and I add the little candle cluster thing, whatever you want to call it, a little dish with candles floating in it. That item is super cute. I like it a lot. And a couple seating areas out front, but here's when I'm like, I should add a seating area, so just move the stairs around and kind of just shuffle things around to make a little bit more sense. At least in my opinion, it makes a little bit more sense. And yeah, I think it's a cute little area. Oh, and something else that I add out here is I add the string lights from, I believe it was Toddler Stuff Pack. Yes, I love these lights. I just sized them down a little bit. That way they fit here because they're quite large or long or whatever you want to call it. It can be hard to use those lights, especially the ones from City Living. Like they're way too tall. Like the poles that they're on are like way taller than the regular wall heights, so they're very difficult to use. But I find the taller ones a little bit easier to use. But at this point, I was pretty much done with the build, but I felt like it just looked a little bit strange, so I decided to add a little bit of extra roofing. So I did have to mess with the little open area again, but I feel like it was a good decision because it adds a bit of detail to the exterior and just makes it look a little bit more interesting. And yeah, so I did have to mess with the roofing a little bit to get it to work, but it all came together in the end, and I really like it, and I think it looks cool. So hopefully you guys like it, and hopefully you guys like this build. You guys will have to let me know what you guys think because we are almost coming up on the screenshot. So thank you guys so much for watching, and please leave any comments or suggestions that you have, and I will talk to you guys soon. Bye!